Muchachos, amigos, and welcome to Record Breakers, a music podcast where a group of friends gather together to share music with each other, an album at a time. It's like a little book club for music where we share and expand our horizons and discover new music from each other. I'm PD Rave, and here with me is my team, my squad, my triumvirate, my crew. We've got David Majors, aka DJ.
Buenos tacos, muchachos. It's my album this week, so sit down, relax, and enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm. And Mulligan's own Drew Snyder.
Hi, I've been here this whole time.
Yes.
Whoa, what?
Yep. We're here to talk about music. We're here to talk about an album, as we always do. And the person introducing the album, like he said, is David. David, what have you got for us this week?
Ahoy, hoy, cool cats and cuties. PD Rave. I came across this artist just meandering through YouTube, just a regular old YouTube dive. And it came up in my recommendations. I think it's because I do enjoy the Tokyo Joshi groove. If you know, you know. And I saw a live performance called the Tokyo Funk Sessions 2022. And one thing PD and I do share in common in relation to East Asian music and pop culture is that we both try to bring things to this podcast that are outside of the typical K-pop, J-pop, mega conglomerate, all-encompassing Borg cube that is K-pop and J-pop. And I came across a very talented artist by the name of Nao Yoshioka, and we are reviewing her 2019 album, Undeniable.
Mm-hmm. Drew, what did you expect coming into this album?
Well, not a huge amount, to be honest. Because it was a singer and not a band, I automatically took my head out of prog metal territory, and went into, okay, this is going to be different from what I usually get from David. And I looked at the album cover, and it was an Asian lady, but it looked like the black and white silhouette of like a 90s R&B sultry singer. And I was like, is this what we're going to get? And then I listened to the first 5 seconds. So I was like, oh shit. Okay. That album cover now makes more sense.
I was, in the quick moments, I wasn't sure exactly what to expect, but, I saw the album cover and I looked a little bit up of Nao herself, and her background, and like, I was very intrigued coming into actually listening to the album, to hear some soul, and hear somebody whose sound and approach has been bred by classic sounds and in the New York scene. So soul, like New York soul, New York R&B, and things like that. I was very intrigued at what we were gonna get. David, how would you describe this album musically?
As has been mentioned, Nao Yoshioka is a soul and R&B artist. Yes, you heard that correctly. She is from Osaka, Japan, but she is specialized in R&B and soul music. She will fit right in with your 2000s R&B and neo soul playlist. Yes, I'm not kidding. She fits right in. Live performances, she has a backing band and everything. She has guest appearances from jazz players and rappers. You'll hear some of that on this album. And her energy in a live environment is straight out of your neo soul dreams. If you're an elder millennial like I am, and you watched Fox on Thursday nights during the 90s, and you remember New York Undercover, and you remember the bar that they went to at the end of every episode of New York Undercover, where they had various R&B, hip hop, and soul artists perform, Her live performances, like the Tokyo Funk, very much in that vein. Very classic soul R&B vibe. Sit down, have a drink, and just enjoy yourself. And this album is, in a lot of ways, a feel-good album. It doesn't go at 100 miles an hour, but it doesn't put you to sleep either. And I feel like it runs the spectrum pretty well within the genre. And Yoshioka shows off some pretty solid vocal talent, some vocal ability. I think her songwriting is solid, and the production of the album is right in line with this genre. The best way I can put it is that she fits right in. She's in the pocket, if you will.
Yes, in the pocket. Drew, how would you describe this album musically?
Shotgun formation? Like,
No. You're a
throwing
bass
dice?
player. You're a bass player, Drew. You know what in the pocket means.
Yeah.
I know it.
Also, I sorry, he was gonna say straight out your mama's kitchen, but yeah, that was. Drew, how would you describe this album musically?
David alluded to when we left off last time that it was like sort of like an enchanting voice, like something that pulls you in, and holy shit, he wasn't wrong. Her vocal is powerful from the get-go, but not powerful in a booming, big sort of boisterous way, where like you might think like a Mariah Carey is a powerful vocal, a Celine Dion is a powerful vocal. This, to me, like the two names I thought of, like not saying that she's the same in every respect, but the two names I thought of in my head were Brandy and Joss Stone. Like automatically off the jump, I was like, if she went on tour with those two, it like I wouldn't even bat an eye. The vibes on this record also, like it is something where if you were into that like mid to late 90s to early 2000s R&B, if I said Brandy and you thought, oh yeah, I remember, this is hitting all
like
of those
early
notes.
Erykah Badu.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Like there's a sultriness to it, and yet like there's delicateness. It's really good.
Yeah, it's I would dare to say the vibes are immaculate. Is one would say. It is a really solid vocal performance. And I think the what you might say, Drew, is that she is a strong vocalist, but she's not a vocal gymnast like a Mariah Carey.
Yes.
She's not here to do the vocal equivalents of
She's
like
not
triple
doing the
axles
runs,
and yeah,
if you will.
you know, she's not doing vocal triple axles and double luts and things like that. It's about setting a mood and setting a style. She does it immaculately and fantastically. It is like soul R&B, very contemporary soul with there's a lot of moments of like it's a little bit more contemporary soul and R&B that you kind of see out there now in some places, and there's some throwback souls to like 90s and 2000s R&B, and then like there's some people liken her vocal voice to the classic soul sisters of like people have called like compared her to like Aretha Franklin and things like that, which is high praise from people. And then also she has it's great production. She also has some really nice features on this, so you have like some nice variety of like voices as well in a couple of moments. Thematically it's very it is music that you can sway to, music, good slow jams, but not it is, you kind of like a sway and bop and have like a drink in your hand and have a nice like a nice scotch, or a nice maybe a glass of Hennessy. I don't know, whatever you're into.
Perhaps a Crown Royal.
Yeah, Crown Royal, exactly. And just sipping it while you're listening to the music, and it's the you can see the influences of, like, you can hear um the fact that, like, yeah, she cut her teeth starting music in New York and the surrounding areas, like, and from the people that have make soul music and things like that there, and you can hear it in her approach and her vocal performance, definitely. And yeah, it's there. It's a lot of uh different touches of, like, of soul and R&B, but definitely, like, those big moments in key spots harken to, like has been said, like a nice throwback sound to the 90s and 2000s. We'll get to that to next part, which is the key tracks. We'll get into the key tracks. David, what will be some of the key tracks to zero in on this album?
Well, I am not going to say every track, just because that would take way too long, and also I didn't write that many notes. Track 3, Liberation. I felt like I was transported to a different / better time when I heard this track. The drum beat is like a kind of your basic funky 4/4, but there's a hi-hat at just the right moment that makes it a little different, and I dig that. Yoshioka sings comfortably over it. Strings come in. There's a great bridge, and it all clicks. And yes, Petey, the vibes are indeed immaculate. Track 6, Celebrate. I just love everything out on this one. Yoshioka carries this song, and she hits some notes. There aren't a lot of vocal gymnastics on this album, but she can hit some notes, and you'll hear it here on track 6, Celebrate. And there is a trumpet solo, which is just a big check plus. Track 10, and let me just say, the second half of the album is so strong. From Celebrate track 6 onward is so strong. And that's not even saying the first half isn't strong. It is. But track 10, Loyalty. Uh, I mentioned that sometimes when things get a little schmaltzy, I wince a little bit, but this song, Loyalty, it warmed even my cold, dead black heart. The vibe is just right. Track 11, Love Me. There is a Hammond organ breakdown, and if you know me, you know I love a Hammond organ. Instant 10 out of 10. And the concluding track, Where I'm Supposed to Be, just a great track, and I absolutely loved the lyrics too.
Drew, what would be some of the key tracks for you?
The kick drum in this song immediately was nostalgic for me for some reason. Like the bass, the kick when it came in, like felt like, and again, pulling back from my childhood, it's a nostalgic feeling from 107.9, Cleveland's home of hip hop and R&B. Just that, the tonality and the way it hit and the attack of it was absolutely perfect. Liberations felt very Janet Jackson to me, in both the vocal inflection into the chorus as well as the I'm an awesome woman, fuck you, I'm not gonna have you bring me down sort of power to it. Celebrate. Um, the, if there was one song where you want to see, like, oh, what's the range? It's Celebrate. Like, Celebrate sort of shows that. And ending on the most, like, Disney movie ass song with Where I'm Supposed to Be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that feels like Act 2, like, Mulan era, like, figuring out, like, the hero's purpose sort of song right then and there, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, and you know, it has been said like a lot of those tracks. I'll key in on some of the tracks I enjoyed. Obviously, it starts off strong with like "Got Me," as a nice start to the album. But yeah, "Liberation" has such a great like throwback sound. That one is the one where it really started to click for me of that like 2000s and 90s like soul and R&B and hip hop R&B and for what I don't know if this is accurate, but what it invoked in me and the name that came to mind was Mary J. Blige.
Yes.
That
There, man.
because and I think that makes sense because you know New York R&B and soul, like you can see how that could happen, and that was the name and the sound and the just the vibe that just kind of it brought out in me. About Us I really liked, especially kind of like having that duality of the two vocals with Eric Robertson. It was a really nice feature, and he really shines as well in this record, and also like the fact that it's a I'm just not that into you song. It's like, yeah, just calm down. She don't even know you, little bro. The another one that was fantastic was yeah, Invest in Me, which is just smooth and cool and had just a nice like confidence in it, and that was like the really great feel in that song, this really strong confident. And Love Me, it was just nice and romantic. You know, Loyalty and Love Me are both like just great romantic tracks. Loyalty is, you know, a little bit more sultry, a little bit more sensual, but Love Me, I feel like if it isn't already like a bunch of people's uh first dance song at their wedding, it should be. That one you should like if, for your first dance at your wedding. That one, if you're looking for a song to dance to, that one would work perfectly. I don't know. That's how I feel. Um, yeah. Let's bring it back around the horn. Talk about conclusive thoughts. Drew, how would you conclude? What would be your conclusion? What would be your wrap up? What would be your thesis on this album?
This is an album that is possibly one of the most surprising finds. It is something that I did do what David suggested, and I went down the rabbit hole of looking at some live performances before we hit go on the call this evening. I would very much like to see her live. If it ever becomes something that works out, like it's something that like I would very much pay and go and see this woman command the stage, because Jesus, the it is something that is so simple and works every time, and not everybody can do it. Not everybody has the talent, and this lady does.
Mm-hmm. Um, Oddly enough, it when as soon as I saw, you know, that her parents were in creative field and they encouraged her to follow and creative pursuits, and the fact that she went to New York and found her musical passion there, and that this then found its way to us via David. The sound and how good this album was actually didn't surprise me. um just because the that soul and R&B sound is universal and has found its way in a lot of different places, like especially places that value live performances um and you know the just from hearing the buzz or just from like looking at the buzz that she had gotten and the attraction that she got, that didn't, you know, I was like, okay, this is going to be good. And it didn't surprise me, but it delighted me for sure. It is a very cool record, a very confident record. It is fantastically performed, fantastically crafted. Um, it is, you know, the sound is straightforward but extremely effective. Um, it, you know, she like the sound, the vocals just shine on these, and it's just, you know, just cool slow jams. It's definitely looking forward to any opportunity I can like Drew said, any opportunity I can to see her perform live would be fantastic. 'Cause I imagine she would kill it just in that room, feeling it in the room, in the physical presence. But yeah, last but not least, Drew. I mean, last but not least, David. David, what would be your conclusion? What would be your final statement on the album?
Before we wrap up, I just want to also say that Miss Yoshioka just released a brand new single called Let It Flow. It is short. It's only about 2.5 minutes, but it's out. Go check it out on your music service of choice. It's called Let It Flow. Guys, it is amazing what just doing a regular old YouTube dive can lead you to. It can lead you to some terrible places, but it can also lead you to some great places. And I've recently found Chad the Bird, a fantastic comedian from Chicago, and Nao Yoshioka. And she is wonderfully talented, and she is criminally unknown. I wonder if that there is maybe an anti-crossover appeal, in that she may not fit into well anywhere. That might be a problem, but I feel like she's a diamond in the rough that I just found. Voice, songwriter, producer, collaborator. Her music is retro yet timeless, and I'm so into it. I'm so into it.
Yeah, and those are our thoughts on Nao Yoshioka's album Undeniable. And now we get to the main event of the evening, the moment we've all been waiting for, our haiku reviews. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Haiku numero uno. Drew, what is your haiku?
An enticing voice that has range and clarity. Undeniable.
My haiku. New York soul and groove. Enchanting vocal magic. Undeniable. And last but not least, David, what is your haiku?
PD, that was too damn easy. Checks all the boxes. Unexpected soul goodness. Organic. Pristine.
It's like it was like our version of It Snows on Mount Fuji. I was sorry.
Oh, man, that's a callback.
If by some
That's 6.
miraculous moment, it's a bit for the Game Grumps fans.
It's a Game Grumps reference that immediately one of the Game Grumps went, that ain't right. Shit's the wrong amount of syllables. The fuck are you talking about?
If by some miraculous reason we actually grow this podcast and somehow get like, which it will never happen. It's like a pie in the sky. If we somehow get Dan Avedon on the show to be a guest, which would blow my mind. I would poop my pants. We should all have our haikus end with It Snows on Mount Fuji. Yeah.
You bring a Rush album.
Since I don't consume Game Grumps, I won't do that.
But yes, those are our thoughts on Nao Yoshioka and her album. You can of course check it out on our Spotify playlist. Play Record Breakers, the home game. Do your due diligence and your due diligence. We have 2 playlists. We have Record Breakers the home game, Record Breakers the playlist. One of them has our episodes slotted in, well, at least our last 300 episodes, because of like, I don't know what the deal is with like Squarespace's like RSS feed and Spotify only showing like the last 300 episodes, but it is what it is. But there's a lot of episodes. And of course the other one is just the album. On those Spotify playlists will be next week's record, and it's going to be provided by Drew. Drew, what have you got in store for us next week?
You've said this a few times. I think I said this once. But scrolling TikTok, fell on an artist that hit me just the right mood, just the right time, and was just the right amount of intriguing, that I wanted to bring her up. It's something where I was thinking about a couple of different records and then realized both of you guys did female voices. So let's continue the female voice train. It's a hip hop artist out of Camden, New Jersey. And I will say, spoiler, some of the New Jersey hip hop women, I personally think she's doing pretty proud here. I want to bring in the album Something Came to Me by Soul Child. No You, Why instead of an I.
We look forward to that. But that'll be next week, and this is this week. And you can of course find us all over the internet. Recordbreakers.fun for all of our episodes and show notes and links and all that. Rebelli.net for all of our shows that
Recordbreakers.stank.
I wish I could look that up. And check us out at Rebelli TV on YouTube and on Twitch. YouTube, you can see the video version, all the VODs of the video version, and all the VODs of our other shows. And Rebelli TV, you can watch us live almost every Tuesday, recording the show live. And you can also check out our other shows, including our GM mode playthrough where we played WWE 2K23 GM, my GM. Heavily modded, and we have a lot of fun with that, and it's mainly that plus a bitter millennial podcast / wrestling podcast, so it's enjoyable to say the least. And of course, upcoming, our new campaign for Through the Tomes called Hand of the Eight, basically where we're going to go through the full campaign. I should have grabbed it earlier, but you know, it's over there. Called Hand of the Eight by DM Dave Hamrick. It's gonna be a really fun experience. We've got everything prepared, and we're gonna go live this Monday if you're watching live. And probably we've already went live, and if you're watching over on YouTube, but go ahead and check it out. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, follow, hit the bell, do all the things, all the call to actions. Until next time. Hasta los huevos.
Boodle toot.
Annyeong. Fighting.
Live logs and proper.
I gotta shit.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.